All the disrespect before you play back, button check. Button check.
What is up, Button Check family? Welcome back to it again. A beautiful day, a beautiful weekend. I'm checking these buttons. Thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you for tuning in to that sub button right there on the race to 62K. Thank you guys for all the love, man. And of course, chapters down below if you guys want to skip around, because this one right here, we got two heavy topics. Both of them I enjoyed. Look, I read these yesterday, and I knew as soon as I did that, like today was going to be a banger. So I hope you guys enjoyed. We got these buttons to check. Without further ado, let's go. All right, now into them first set of Dave & Buster's actually running that money match. What? Buttons that need to be checked. This is a cool ass story. I read it just yesterday. It starts right here with Mr. CEO himself, Alex Jabailey. He posted this right here saying, Dave & Buster's adding money matches, LOL. You see the article down below where it says Dave & Buster's allow customers to bet on arcade games. CNBC actually did a video as well. Let's check out the clip.
Professor, I feel like you're pretty competitive. How excited are you about it?
I mean, I think that this is a really interesting concept. So you've got this arcade giant, Dave & Buster's, taking its games to a whole new level by offering social wagering on its app. And once this launches in the next few months, it could mean a friendly $5 wager on a Hot Shots basketball game or a bet on skee ball competition at the arcade that takes place on the app as long as the players are at least 18 years old. The company's share price is up more than 50% over the past year. And this new technology, the company thinks, could increase engagement from its 5 million loyalty members and 30 million unique visitors annually to more than 200 venues. It is partnering with Lucra. It's a software company that specializes in real money contests that its founders say bypass gambling regulations and licensing. So in 44 states, it offers games that allow friends to bet against each other on, say, their own tennis matches. Social gaming is estimated to be a $6 billion industry, according to research firm Eilers & Krejcik. We will get more details on what this looks like from Dave & Buster's before the new digital competition platform launches. But for now, the company says it will give its members an unrivaled gaming experience, so something new to see. It won't look like a casino. It will look just like an arcade. Doesn't that, like right now, the gaming floor and the casino, sometimes you can just see them interchangeably, right? The advantage is if you don't have to go before the gaming regulators and get licensed, that's a huge obstacle for a lot of companies. But so for Dave & Buster's, you might imagine you could bet a burger or bet a beer, and that would keep all of that spending in the ecosystem of Dave & Buster's and make it possible to sort of just amp up the level of adults and what they're willing to do and engage with at the gaming platform.
Okay, so let's unpack this real quick. Now, on one hand, the thing that stuck out to me is like the loyalty members. So only loyalty members will be able to do this. That's how they get you, right? That's how they get you to stick around, which as a business, that's a smart idea. I don't know how loyalty members work with Dave & Buster's. I imagine it works just like anything else. So all in all, I think it's a cool ass idea. It said real money, real wagers, because she was like, oh, what if you could bet a burger? You know what I'm saying? Y'all are playing running the set for like some fries or some shit. But at the end of the day, either way, even if they do the food wagers versus the real money wagers, it's a cool ass idea because most of the people that go to Dave & Buster's is adults. I was just at Times Square last weekend. I had the time of my life. I somehow missed Dave & Buster's, right? But if this came out during that time, best believe FGC is going to be all about this. We could even start running like locals there or tournaments knowing this. I mean, this would be hype as shit. Just some stuff off the top of the head. I don't know if it's actually going to work out, but for me, I don't know. I think it's hype. How y'all feeling? Let me know. All right, next up for the much anticipated, I am embarrassed how I spoke to LTG years ago, buttons that need to be checked. This one was interesting as hell. So it started off innocent enough from Javits, I believe from New York, right? Saying, what kind of content do you think is missing from the FGC? People start responding saying, I'm literally creating a new type of content and people don't watch because if you aren't a top player, you have to outwork people for years to get a decent amount of viewership. Javits responds to that saying, that's awesome, man. Go ahead and plug that. I'd be happy to check it out and retweet. If it's good stuff and just needs more eyes and support with time and effort, hopefully it'll grow for you. I was just asking what people want to see more of and what's missing. I see Sajam adding to this saying, whatever anybody wants to make. To be honest, I think everybody wants anything. It's just about making some cool stuff and it'll find an audience. Others saying lifestyle content, I would call it content that gets people to learn about the pro players beyond the analytics and specifics of the game. If you want casuals to be welcomed as well, it's missing. Jay Wong responds saying, probably more creative stuff. I think I do some some fun stuff, but I could do more. Then some ads saying more documentaries or mature TV, vlogging. I feel like there's a disconnect between players and viewers. Others adding like Grand Totokai, saying content that allows the casual players to interact and have a spotlight on them outside of tournaments, basically because I think the FGC is too used to only supporting top players' content and teaching content most of the time, so interaction could be valued to some extent if it's done correct. Beneath that saying surprising podcasts about professional/competitive play. Continuing on right here, I see Steve Dream King Chavez from Event Hub saying, I've been a content creator and curator of the FGC content for over 15 years, and I will say two things. One, the only top players get propped up thing is just not true. If you got something good in the FGC, people will flock to it. MVCI graphics mod is a great example. And two, the majority of things people are saying they want to see in the comments in this thread are not the things people actually click on and engage on a mass scale. It's the hard truth, but the truth nonetheless. Underneath that, they said, I remember the why do you keep posting about movies at event hubs? And it's like, motherfucker, you keep clicking on it. Steven says, absolutely. And people never consider those things that do super well to pave the way for us to continue reporting the hardcore FGC news and breakdowns that we do. Perfect Legend adding to this as well, saying, FGC, we need more creative content. Also, FGC, watch as someone / a bot mashing 3333. Y'all get the point. With Eddie Gordo in Tekken 8 for hours. Gootecks adds to this, saying, if you want to figure out what content is missing from the FGC, just look at what's already been done and put your own spin on it. We already laid the blueprint for you years ago. Narrative production as well as monetization. It is all there. Then from there, posting this clip, right? Some of their old work. Let's check it out.
It kind of dawned on me that he was serious. I didn't think he really wanted to play me because, you know, he's just gonna get bopped. But his time was then and my time is now. So, you know.
We got CJ over there talking all kinds of trash. You know, I was washed up and that he was Larry Holmes and I was Ali and that nobody would respect him if he knocked an old man out. Larry Holmes is a champion. Larry Holmes is a legend. What have you won exactly? Like what? Who are you? Who are you exactly?
What have you won? Ask me again in about 30 minutes.
I thought he had like a higher IQ than normally a lot of people, so I didn't expect that.
Oh, my daughter, she threw a tantrum like that, and she got spanked for it. I feel like it'd be unfair to my daughter not to spank him for it.
Damn. All right, continuing on right there. People are like, I missed this so much, or man, this was the era. Others are like, this era of fighting games is my favorite, or what got me into it. Alex Vaya posted this saying exhibitions at majors as a main feature were so cool. Then posted this clip. Let's check it out.
And look, I got one more thing to say. So there's gonna come a point when you forget about what happened. And you're gonna want to come back at me. And you're gonna want to wash the taste of my dick out of your mouth.
All right, Alex actually posted this follow-up saying, we got a lot of heat during the aftermath for that grudge match back then. I know times have changed and some content may be looked at differently now. We took many risks and won/lost many battles, but with this type of content we put out there, if you're not taking risks, you'll never know your true potential. Damn, I never would have guessed that, really. But others add to that saying, times are too different now, or that was what got me into the FGC, or we're currently the softest era, and cancel culture reigns supreme. Being offended is a badge of honor, and snitching of any kind is cool. Gets even deeper right now because Viscant speaks on all of that in that legendary moment, him versus LTG. Let's pick it up. I hear Viscant post this saying, also, since we're talking about that, it is true that we were approached to go on Tosh.0 a couple of years later. I don't know what we were going to do, if it was going to be a reaction or just a talk show segment. My partner and I talked it over and we declined. He also follows it up right here saying, I was initially thinking I would do it. It was a cash appearance and I was ultra broke then, but she talked me out of it saying that I didn't want that to be my whole identity. As always, she was right. Even 7 years ago, it was old/embarrassing. It feels even worse now. Damn, can we pause right there? The man literally said, he said it was embarrassing then and now it feels even worse. You know the FGC got something to say about that, including myself, you know what I'm saying? But continuing on right here, Super Arcade at Super Dojo post this, shout out to the homie. He posts this right here, right, saying, little off subject here, but believe it or not, there was a promise you would not have been touched that night, and whatever the persona LTG portrays, he kept his word as a man to me regarding that issue. Just thought you might want to know, brother. Damn, so they actually had a deal about that he wouldn't be touched. I didn't know that either. Jay responds, or Viscant, saying, I make it a point not talking about this too much, but for the record, I definitely regret the pop-off and the dumb/edgy jokes I made as a kid. It felt good in the moment, and I remember feeling really pissed off at him in the time, but it feels foolish in retrospect. I see, these are things I never would have guessed. Again, he adds, saying, my advice to all the young people in the scene is to remember that stuff on the internet is forever and you never know what's going to go viral. You might end up having people at your job or in public ask about a random thing you said 10 years ago, you know, hypothetically. Wow. Okay, we're going to continue real quick, but the crazy thing is, I remember LTG talking about one time that they were supposed to go on Tosh.0 and he was down to do it, but Viscant wasn't. I didn't know what the reason was. Obviously, we know now. And we also know that FGC is reacting, right? John Guerrero from Event Hubs posting this saying, don't apologize for godlike shit talk. We were doing WWE and this is the highlight of it all. Below that saying, it's crazy how viral this went and how many years it was outside of the FGC online sphere. The buildup was the event was like a 90s boxing match, wrestling match, rolled into one. There has never been anything like it to scale or on that scale before or since. And I agree, there hasn't been anything to rival that. That shit, that moment was godlike. Continuing on, this person adds saying, well, there eventually is going to come a time when you'll forget about what happened. People are laughing down below. You get the wordplay. David right here wrapping it up saying, I get what you mean, but I don't see it as a funny hype moment. I see it as someone standing up for themselves and not taking any disrespect from anyone. And there you have it. Holy to the shit. Can we unpack this real quick? So, just touching on what Viscant said really quick, I'm surprised. I'm very surprised to learn that the reason why he didn't go on Tosh.0 is because he was thinking of that he didn't want it to reflect badly on him as far as like his whole identity. I'm not gonna lie, I would have did it, you know what I'm saying? But then again, I'm a content creator, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know if he watched Tosh.0 at that time, but what he would have done is he did these things called redemptions. What were they called? Like something redemptions, right? Where they take those scenarios that happen and they make you reenact them, but in a funny way, right? Nobody's like in each other's face or anything like that, as far as I can remember. But they make you reenact it in a funny way, and Tosh is kind of just reliving the moment with you. And it's all in fun. And hell, if you could have got some money from that, hell yeah, I would have did that. Now, was it the right move? I guess it depends on the individual. For me, no, it wouldn't have. For me, the right move would have been doing the damn TV show. But for him, if he didn't do it, if that's right for him, then who am I to say it's not right for that man? But even more shocking is the way that he actually looks at that moment. I thought he looked at it the way that we all did. You know, that's just a hype moment in history. You know, they kept it in the game, kind of, you know what I'm saying? But it was legendary. A lot of people looked at it like that one reply said, like, I didn't look at it like a funny moment. I looked at somebody standing up for themselves. Because even people that weren't in the FGC had millions of views on that moment, and they were posting it like, kid stands up to bully or some shit like that, right? It wasn't anything affiliated with the FGC. It was just a moment in time that a lot of people could relate to. So it's surprising to me that he sees it as something else. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I'm ashamed of my language. I don't know if it's because maybe his lifestyle changed now. No idea. But for me, I'm reacting the same way that I see, you know, Velociraptor and all these other guys saying, no, don't apologize. This was legendary. You know what I'm saying? I would even go as far as to say, I could be wrong. Let me know, especially if LTG is watching this. But I would even go as far to say that LTG would even agree that what happened, and it happened for a reason, you know what I'm saying? In that moment in particular, those two individuals made that moment, shit was godlike. Almost reminds me of a J. Cole moment, you know what I'm saying? Where like, he came out with the fire, we appreciated it, but then you're like, nah, my bad. You're like, oh, why are you apologizing, baby? Of course, it's completely different, and this is years later after the fact. But what I'm trying to say is, it just really surprised me that he doesn't look at it the same way that most of us do. And the last thing I'll say, I think I'm gonna have to release a Patreon video about this because I got so much to say on this matter, but a lot of people saying in the FGC, what do you wanna see? I agree with Steven's take when he was like, a lot of you don't know what you wanna watch. Or you do, but you have to realize that it's not gonna work because it's not on a massive scale, and this is the reason why people fail. I do agree a lot with that, but another thing I agree with from doing this for over 6 years, I've been doing YouTube for over a decade, but Button Check I've been doing for a little over 6 years, right? And I can tell you straight up that the reason why a lot of people don't do this and you don't see it is because it's fucking hard. You sacrifice damn near your whole life. This shit I'm doing right now, just this video, I have to sacrifice my whole Sunday to bring this to you guys. You say, well, Ernesto, what's your job? Yeah, but for 5.5, no, but for like damn near 6 years, it wasn't my full-time job. I had other jobs. Sometimes I had 3 jobs. And I was still dropping these, you know what I'm saying? It is fucking hard. You lose sleep, you lose family events. It is hard. So you only do it and stick to it if you truly, genuinely love it. And if it's still not growing after years, yes, it's hard to continue. That's why you see people maybe come with an idea and then they're gone in a few months. It is fucking hard. There it is one more time. Thank you guys one more time for the amazing love, man. This is a hot topic. I can keep going. I might have to chop it because if this damn video ends up to be over 20 minutes long, I'm not going to take that. So anything over, I'll release on the Patreon. Look, thank you guys for everything. Everything means the world to me. Like I said, it takes consistency, it takes passion, and it is fucking hard. You're only going to stick to it if you love it. And guess what? I love y'all. I love the FGC. So with knowing that, I will see y'all tomorrow. If not tomorrow, definitely the next day for that HT. And as always, I don't know what it is, but I know it's about to get better. Love y'all, fam. Peace.
Blah, blah, blah. Subscribe.
We gotta start the Wizard Advice tournament. Right. Back to Eris and Mike Ross.
Oh, what a time to be alive.